in one way, my mother would run along like, Mark, get him, get him. I'd be like, oh my gosh. I'd get in the huddle with the other guys. They go, Mark, is that your mother? I go, no, I never saw her before in my life. See, the greatest gift my mother ever gave me, she believed in me. I have overdosed on drugs on 3 occasions where I should have been dead. But I believe I was kept here for a reason. You show me your friends, I will show you your future. How do I know this? I hung out with losers, and I became the biggest loser of them all because I gave up everything I dreamt about as a little boy because of who I chose to surround myself with. My friends would drive me home at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. We'd be drunk and high, laughing in the car. We'd pull up in front of my house in New York. They go, Mark, the light's on. I go, oh man, my mother's up. See, my mom wouldn't go to bed until she knew her son was still alive. I'd walk in, she'd say, hi, Mark, how was your night? I go, it was good, Mom, I'm just gonna go to bed. She goes, can I talk to you for a minute? I go, Mom, I'm tired, I'm just gonna go to bed. She goes, Mark, I haven't seen you all day and all night. Can I please talk to you? I said, man, just leave me alone. You bug me. I'd slam my bedroom door on the one person who believed in me. I was on a worldwide tour and we were wrestling overseas in Japan. After my wrestling match, I went upstairs in my hotel room and I fell asleep. There was a knock at my door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got out of bed and I looked through the safety window and I could see it was a Japanese promoter. So I opened the door and he said, Mark, you need to call home. There's been an emergency. I went and got on the hotel room phone. I called back to the United States. I said, hey, what's going on? They said, Mark, I don't know how to tell you this. I said, just tell me what happened. All of a sudden they started crying. They go, Mark, I can't tell you. I said, just say it. They said, Mark, your mother died. I just threw the phone down. I ran out of my hotel room. I took the elevator to the lobby, and when the doors opened up, I just ran out into the street. I mean, there was no cars, there was no people. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. And I walked down the middle of a street in Hiroshima, Japan, and I remember looking up and just saying, Mom, I am so sorry. I flew home for her funeral, and I was so nervous to walk up to her casket, so I just stood way in the back. And I kept looking from a distance. I kept thinking to myself, Mom, please wake up. Please get up. And then I finally got the nerve to walk up to her. And as I got closer, I could see my mom for the first time. I mean, she was so beautiful. She was dressed in white. I mean, she looked like an angel. And I just stood over it. I said, Mom, you are my hero. Everything I am, everything I hope to be was because of you. You loved me so much. You gave me a life. You're the only one that ever believed in me. How did I repay her? By getting drunk, by getting high, by getting stupid, by hanging out with losers. For what? All she ever wanted to do was talk to me. I wish I could talk to you now, Mom. I wish you could see what I'm doing. Why couldn't I have been a better son? We are defined by our choices. But if you surround yourself with people involved in drugs and alcohol and pills, it's a dead end. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to tell you I lived that life. It leads to broken hearts, broken relationships, broken dreams, and death. For what? To get high? If you have a mother or a father, when you go home, tell them how much you love them. See, my whole life was about being rich and famous. I had to be a millionaire. I had to win the race. I had to win the race at the expense of my marriage, my family, my friends. For what? To be all alone in the world? I learned what is truly important, and that is how precious this gift of life is, and our families, and how quickly it can be taken away. See, I no longer live in time. I live in moments. See, it's not what's in your pocket that matters. It's what's in your heart that truly matters. Love. Love is just a word until somebody comes along and gives it meaning. You You're the meaning.
Are you going in circles?
Are you starting to lose hope?
We're here today to tell you there is hope.
It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. You are made for so much more.
Yes, don't believe the lies.
Yeah. Don't believe the people that are trying, and believe me, there are people trying to keep you down. Do not believe them.
Believe who God says you are.
Absolutely. I am Paul.
I'm Mark.
And this is Beyond Limits.
Beyond Limits Films present. A positive, motivating, real news, fun, interactive, prize-winning, gift-giving podcast. Start your mornings with the guys. Welcome to Beyond Limits.
Good Monday morning.
I love our background music.
Yes, I do too.
It's wonderful. Football.
Football Sunday yesterday, yes.
Football's back.
yes.
Do we need to talk about that?
We can a little bit if you want.
Okay.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
So you can ask me about my weekend. How's your weekend, Mark? Oh, my weekend was great, Paul. Thanks for asking.
Mark, how was your weekend?
That was great, Paul. Thanks for asking.
You're so stupid.
had my
so
nephew's first birthday party
saw
on
that.
Saturday. Yeah,
That's when you took the picture.
Yeah, posted a picture. It was a nice, fun family day. It was great.
Myra, good morning.
Good morning, Myra. Got to the to my dad's house early Saturday, so we
In
had,
Havelock or
New Bern-ish.
Yeah.
But yes, James City really is the area. But anyway, for those small town folk.
yeah, folk.
But anyway, had to split wood because we're getting ready for the winter time as it is approaching.
The winter season.
Because it is coming.
Have you noticed that
I have
my
noticed.
winter coat has come in?
Yes, I have noticed. Yep.
It came in more gray this year.
I just trimmed mine up the other day, so.
Before we go live, before the camera, actually while we were watching the video here, Mark was just,
Good morning, Melinda.
good morning, Melinda. Just,
I was caressing the beard.
yeah, there's a lot of gray in it.
There's a lot of gray in it this year. That's true. But I've gotten obviously more gray myself.
Yeah.
But
How was y'all's weekend? Let us know.
Yes,
And we also
comment
want to
down
know, comment below, and we want to know where y'all watching from, because we've got people all over the place that have been watching our 9/11 video and some other stuff. So let us know where you're from, where you're watching from.
yeah, definitely.
We want to know.
Yeah, so we can just know our demographics.
Yeah.
Where we're all from. It's great. Meet new people.
We've got a great
Join.
show today.
Yes.
So excited.
Good morning, Amber. Good morning. So
Hey,
yeah.
Amber.
So anyway, had to split wood all morning long, getting ready for.
Are you
winter.
using a log splitter or are you using an axe?
Both, but mainly a log splitter. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes it a lot easier.
That
But
makes
it's still
sense.
right. But anyway, so after that, had my nephew's first birthday party. It's great. Great.
So he's one.
He is one.
Okay. Right. I didn't know if he's just never had a birthday party.
Well, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
I guess. But yes, he'll be officially one in a couple days, but he's not officially one yet, but close enough.
There's our first one. Washington, North Carolina. I know Donna Crabtree's going to be up here from Canada in a little bit. We got some Japanese viewers, some African viewers from Africa. It's going to be, we're excited. It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time.
I love it.
And we got a good devotion. So listen, this whole devotion is set up for, and we're going to get into the intro, National Day, and everything in a second. This whole devotion, if you're watching this, you're like, what's about to happen here? Is set up for people who have kind of been sliding. You've allowed other people to influence you. You get on social media, and then 20 hours later, you get off, and you're feeling depressed. You're feeling tired. There seems, what can I do? I'm so small when everybody else has this perfect life. It seems that's not the case, but it seems that way. And there's a reason that they're pushing a whole bunch of calamity and negativity. And we're going to get into all that. And we want to hear your thoughts, your views, and what you think about it. But there's more going on than meets the eye.
Yes. So much more.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that, like you said.
Yep.
So, anyway, finish up the weekend.
Yeah.
Sunday football day, obviously, first official, NFL. I'm kind of sideways about it as far as, a lot of the stuff we talked about Friday show.
Yeah.
But we talked about it Friday. We're not going to get into it today because we don't want to make today's show about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it was great. Good weekend. How about yours?
It was good. Hey, I got to preach. I got to preach.
Well, Paul,
next Sunday.
that is what you do.
I got to preach next Sunday. So yeah.
So like the whole service.
Yeah, the preacher's going on vacation. The head pastor's going on vacation.
Oh,
so
nice.
it'll be live stream, so you'll be able to see it up here.
Nice.
Tune in. Yeah.
That's
It'll
good.
be good.
Right. Do you know what you can talk about yet?
No.
Ah.
We'll start that process today.
Saturday night.
no, I do it.
Producer
Don't
Rachel-
shake your head. Yes.
Producer Rachel says, "Yep."
No. Monday. It'll be the Monday week
Well,
of.
look,
That's when you start.
When you don't tell God when He gives you your message. He gives you your message when you're ready.
That's absolutely when
and if
he's
it happens,
ready.
If it happens to be Saturday night, it happens to be Saturday night.
Yeah.
Or early Sunday morning.
You know, now that that has happened
Right.
for the pastor friends out there. Like that has happened
Right.
where it's like I'll have something prepared, and like Saturday night it completely changes, which is like, man, I've got so much already written down, and like I've got like 40 hours worth of work already in this, and then it's like, no, you don't.
Right. Yeah. Because
You've got 2 minutes worth of work
something
in
happens, or you see something, or
Yeah.
you're inspired by something that you've seen, and it just changes. We've done that here before, so it's awesome. I like it.
National Day.
Yes, National Day. Today is National Day.
Today is a national day.
Today is a national day. The national day for today, National Cream-Filled Donut Day.
I like that day. I don't eat. I read that. I was just gonna disregard what Jeremy said until it went off the screen.
We all know Brandon's gonna write a sermon.
I wonder if he would do that. That would make things so much. And I just read it from like a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Like
I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
Or at least give you some pointers.
Yeah.
So
So
it's not like he has a few books out there you couldn't just
we got 5 books.
take some notes from.
Hey, we took a tour of ASAP Photo,
Yes.
and it is amazing. Like it's like. Have you seen The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe?
Yes.
That's it. Like when they open up the thing and they go to Narnia.
Right.
I got that right. All right.
Yeah.
I know you're. Anyways,
You're good.
It's-
Keep going.
so they open it up and then they go to this magical land. Well, behind ASAP Photo, right? Like there's this little tiny hallway, and I just thought it was like 1 or 2. You open it up and it's like flipping Narnia back there because it's huge. You wouldn't. I don't know where they got all that space, but it's really nice. Anyways, there's a studio
It's
back
a warehouse, Paul.
there. You would say it was a warehouse, but it's not. It's very.
It is.
Yeah, it's probably just a warehouse.
Yeah, it's where it's okay. That's right.
Yeah.
But it looks smaller from the outside.
Yeah.
You go inside, it's like wow.
Yeah.
Right. I like
I
it.
wasn't like wow.
Oh,
I was like
okay.
wow.
Well, so that was National Day, Cream-Filled Donut Day. You just kind of skimmed over that. But that's okay,
Yeah.
whatever. So if someone wants to bring a cream-filled donut by the studio this morning, that would be great.
That would be great.
I would be great. Oh, I also have to mention.
Yep.
Lumpia Day.
That's Thomas Quigley.
Yes, for those of you who remember our guest from Joey's Soup Kitchen here in Greenville, if you have pre-ordered your lumpia, today is the day that you pick it up from 3 to 7.
Yeah.
At the Basil's on Fire Tower in front of the AMC Theater.
Lumpia. And a lot of y'all ordered the lumpias. It's going to benefit, like Mark said, Joy's Soup Kitchen. He sold 500.
I think it was 512. He had to stop. He had to stop the orders. From
That's
coming in.
wonderful.
Right.
It's because he came on the show. That's what
it.
happens when you
That's
come
it.
on Beyond Limits. We help you sell stuff. What's up? Cali Billy Parker on his way or her way to Parker's Barbecue. That's the owner of Parker's Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna
We went
cook
to school.
some
Well, my
pigs.
wife and I went to school with Callie.
Did really?
Mm-hmm.
She's from Havelock.
She's from Havelock.
Neat.
Yeah.
What a show we have
I
today.
tell you, man, it's awesome.
So Brandon actually titled this one, and I know you got that story. Brandon titled the one we're going to do today called "Dry Bones." From dry bones to full of life.
Right.
And I'm excited. I keep pumping it because we're not ready for it yet, but I'm excited for it. So
we can be ready for whatever you want
let's
to.
go with the news.
No, it's cool. We have show notes and stuff. Hey, we're going to do things in this order. And then Paul just kind of just crumbles up the paper and throws
Like,
it out
hey,
the
remember
window.
what?
Hey, remember we're going to talk about we'll talk about it next time. It's fine. Oh, no.
Well, now it's old news. It's like 4 months old now.
It's
okay.
not that old.
I was okay. So Jelly Bellies.
Jelly Bellies. That's a good transition.
Jelly Bellies.
You transitioned to that very nicely.
Just do it. It's like
Yes.
a Band-Aid. Rip
right,
it off.
just rip it off. So Jelly Bellies, if you're a fan of Jelly Bellies,
Yeah.
or if you want to try and win a prize from Jelly Belly in the name of a Willy Wonka factory of candy,
Yeah.
then go to Jelly Belly's website and join in on their treasure hunt. They're doing an actual golden ticket per se Willy Wonka scavenger hunt. You have to go to the website and they'll let you know they only have a certain amount of people that can register from each state.
So what do they win again?
They win. So the top prize wins an actual candy store. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
like,
not
like you'll go to Jelly Belly and they'll teach you how to, make the candy and everything like that, and you actually will open up a candy store.
You win a candy store?
Yeah.
How do you
Hey, that's their Jelly Belly stuff.
Good for them.
Yeah.
So how does the treasure hunt work?
So you have to go to the website. You have
Okay.
to pay $49.99 for a spot.
Okay.
Essentially, there's only a certain amount of spots per state.
Yeah.
Right. And when your clue gets released for your state, it's like a scavenger hunt. They give you clues, whatever, to go find these. They're golden necklaces, is what they are, like dog tags.
Yeah.
And when you find it, you win $5,000. So you instantly win that for finding that. And then of the winners, you get put into a pot of the 50 states, and they'll choose one person out of those people who found the necklaces.
What
with dog
What
tags.
made you just select out of all the sounds in all the world, select that sound to be your choosing sound? Choot. This is where you went to?
Yeah, sounds like
Okay,
a
choot.
sounds like a choot. Yeah.
And then you hear the birds, and then you hear the birds on the music at the same time.
Maybe
that's funny.
maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just heard that subliminally and just kind of went with what I
yeah.
was hearing in the background. Who knows?
Okay. Hey. So how do they enter? This is for everybody. Y'all can grown-ups.
Right.
It's a treasure hunt for us to win a candy store.
Mm-hmm. Just go to just Google Jelly Belly.
Do you like Jelly Bellies? Or are you a?
Oh, so. Well, I'm not a big
Are you
jelly.
Starburst?
No, I'm not a big candy person per se anyway.
Okay.
Right.
That's why your teeth are so beautiful.
Right. So, and if I do eat candy, it's gonna be like a Reese's. I mean, chocolate peanut butter type thing. That's kind of
Right.
my if I eat anything like that. I will eat Jelly Bellies every once in a while. The best thing I thought they came out with was the Bean Boozled game. You ever play the Bean Boozled Jelly Belly?
My kids have, but it terrifies me.
Oh.
Yeah. Go.
I'll eat them. Well, not because I want to, but to play the game. Right? It is awesome. You've got to play the game. You know
But
what?
some of them
Let's do
taste
it on
like.
the show.
But
Let's
some
do it
of
on
them
the show.
taste like throw
Like
up.
throw up, dog food, toothpaste. Yes. Like burnt.
See, toothpaste.
Yeah.
That one I could do.
Well, it's not bad. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nasty. Rotten egg.
Yeah.
Oh man. Although I did learn if you just take a handful out of the Bamboozled box.
Yeah.
And just eat them all at one time, then they all just kind of taste the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did that on a dare.
I held a snake for the first time last night. I've never held a snake before, and I held one
Really?
for the first time.
What kind of snake?
Well, yeah. Well, it is a pet. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. It was not in the yard.
So it wasn't a wild snake.
It was not
It was a pet snake.
a
But
wild snake. It was a pet snake.
wouldn't a pet snake still be a wild snake?
I think the tendencies have changed, obviously.
Think so?
Well, yeah.
I mean, a wild snake's just not going to bite you.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you probably have the same likelihood of being bitten by a wild versus
I don't
pet snake.
think so.
You think so?
I think learned behavior. I mean, it wasn't a new. It was, I guess you'd say, a trained pet snake, because it knew when it gets moved to a certain box, it's going to get fed. So it was expecting that, and it
Okay.
just.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so I went over to a friend's
Anyway,
house.
comment below. Let me know what you think. I want to know these facts now.
Melissa don't like snakes at
Right.
all. So I don't know. It was fun.
So what kind of snake was it?
It was a boa.
A boa constrictor?
Yeah.
Was it a regular like? No,
It was
like
it
an
was it
albino
was only
boa,
like it was like this big. Apparently they don't outgrow their tanks.
right?
So the which is interesting to me that
I
it's-
never heard that.
yeah, like so if she kept it in this small like aquarium, or what do they call it? It's not aquarium if it's not fish
Right. It's habitat.
habitat.
There's another word for it,
Yeah.
but I can't think of what.
Anyways, they won't outgrow it, and it was really small. So yeah,
Huh.
there you go.
So you held it. What'd it do?
I mean, it slithered. It's a snake.
Well, yeah, but sometimes it'll wrap around your hand.
Yeah, well, it wrapped around her hand, but I weren't letting that happen. I weren't dying.
So you said you held a snake, but it wrapped around her hand. How did you hold it? if
Well,
was
it wrapped
your hand?
around her hand first, and then I was like, I want to hold the snake, and she let me hold it, and then
So like
and then
you just cup its head.
I did, and
like this?
it came up here, and then so my hand was out here, and we looked at each other, and that was
Did
that was
its
it.
little tongue come out?
It was really uneventful. Now that I think about it,
Well,
it was just me holding a snake,
I didn't say that.
and he was like,
but now that we got to the end of the story, it just kind of feels like.
and
you
then
just wasted
and then it
everyone's
like,
time.
and then his little tongue came out and was like, it was weird. But hey, I had fun. It was my first. Listen, it's my first time. Calm down. I experienced my first, and I wanted to share it with you. And you
I appreciate.
you
the
come
share.
out with the cat of nine tails.
No, I just like me. I ask a lot of questions. just because
Yes.
I like to be invested in stories.
We're on a delay, and I'm up there. Guys, we have got a wonderful. I am excited about today. I'm excited about the day's devotion specifically. Brandon has done well. If you've been waiting for the devotion, then you have got to wait no longer.
That's it. Good morning, Dr. Rudy.
Dr. Rudy, what is up, man? Rudy Oxendine, which leads me to get your teeth fixed at Kinston Dental Associates. Brandon will hook you up.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready if you're ready.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
So today's devotion, if you saw the video at the beginning, we're talking about not letting people, what other people say on social media, not letting that influence you, not letting the media influence you at all, not letting other people's opinions influence you. There's only one opinion that matters, and that is the opinion of God himself. And so many people get down and you throw this whole burden on top of yourself based off the opinions of people who don't matter. So this one is titled From Dry Bones to Full of Life. And this is for every person, but specifically for the Christian audience. And if you need to know more about that, we've had a lot of messages over the past 2 days to the page messages, and we'd love to talk to you more about that. You ready?
I'm always ready, Paul. I know you've been ready since Jump Street this morning.
Well, I read this devotion. It's so good.
It's good. It's good. I love it.
Have you ever reached the point of physical and mental exhaustion? This is good. Like to the point where all you can do is lay down and sleep? Or have you ever been going through such a difficult situation that the only way you could take another step is if God himself comes down and moves your feet for you? Perhaps it's not physical or mental exhaustion that you are dealing with. Perhaps it's frank spiritual deadness. You've lost all hope. You've fallen away from God. Or you just don't know how to carry the faith on anymore. With all these things in common is the need for revival. Remember that word, revival. It's the need for life. It's a need for hope, for motivation, and for strength to carry on. There is no better story in the Bible that demonstrates this revival more than Ezekiel and the valley of dry bones.
Let's first look at a little context for this passage. Ezekiel was called to be a prophet when the nation of Israel was held in captivity in the nation of Babylon. This was probably the most difficult time in Israel's history, and that's saying a lot because this nation had been through many difficult seasons.
Yep.
These people had been carried away from their homeland and everything they had ever known. They were now dwelling in a foreign land where most of them were living the life of a slave. They were hopeless, and their faith in God had bottomed out. They thought that God had forgotten them, and they thought they knew that they were now experiencing the punishment they deserved for the years of disobedience. God called Ezekiel to his prophet during this hopeless time and gave him the vision of the valley of dry bones.
Yeah, so what we've been talking about comes from this verse that I'm about to read, or this text right now that I'm about to read out of Ezekiel. Ezekiel 37, 1-3 says, "The hand of the Lord was on me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord and set me in the middle of the valley. It was full of bones. He led me back and forth among them, and I saw a great many bones on the floor of the valley, bones that were very dry. He asked me, 'Son of man, can these bones live?' I said, 'Sovereign Lord, you alone know.'"
So, in a vision, God brings Ezekiel to a valley where, as far as the eyes can see, were stacks and stacks of bones. Not just any bones, but dry and brittle bones.
Yeah.
Those bones of people who had been dead for many, many years. No life whatsoever was seen in those bones. God then asked Ezekiel the question, can these bones live? What type of question is that? These are just dry bones. There's no way they can live, right?
Yeah, Ezekiel doesn't say that. He says, "Sovereign Lord, you alone know." In other words, what he is saying is this: Lord, the one who is in control of all things and has all things under his feet, you are the only one who knows the answer to this question. If you say live, I know they will live. With this statement, Ezekiel is showing his devotion and faith in the Lord. He is admitting that his God can do all things and can do whatever he pleases. And that, my friends, is some serious faith.
God then says to the prophet in Ezekiel 37, 4-6, prophesy to those bones.
Prophesy
and
to those
say
bones.
to them, That was loud. I like it.
That was really loud in my ears too.
Those bones. And say to them,
Underestimated.
dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life.
Yes.
I will attach tendons to make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord.
Ezekiel obeyed his command and prophesied over the dry bones. What happens next is absolutely amazing. The bones began to rattle. Ligaments appeared around the bones and joined them together. Vital organs and blood vessels took their places inside the skeleton. Muscles and tendons, they shaped themselves around the bones. Finally, skin grew over everything and formed the bodies. But notice verse 8. It says, there was no breath in them. So you have the body, but there's no breath in them. Ezekiel did not see dry bones anymore. He saw fully formed human bodies, but they were lifeless. The breath of God had not yet been breathed in them.
Then it happened.
Wait, hold on. Say that again. Say then it happened.
Then it happened.
Boom! Wake up!
God told Ezekiel to once again
Yes.
prophesy to the lifeless bodies before him and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Come, breath from the four winds and breathe into these slain that they may live.
That's a hard verse, but
Right.
you pulled it through.
I tried. Ezekiel obeyed, and then breath entered them. They came to life and stood up on their feet, a vast army. Just as God breathed life into those nostrils of the first man on earth, he breathed life into those dead bodies. And they stood on their feet. The God Almighty had just brought an entire valley of dead, dry, brittle bones back to life. Not only that, he turned them into a vast army. Wow. What an amazing God.
I wonder. That's awesome. God gave this vision to Ezekiel for a reason, friends. Remember, his people were held captive in Babylon. They'd been beaten down. These Israelites felt like this valley of dry bones in their spirit. God then says to Ezekiel in verses 11 through 14, these bones are the people of Israel. They say, our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off. Therefore, prophesy and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. My people, I am going to open your graves and bring you up before them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel. Then you, my people, will know that I am Lord. That's the purpose. You'll know that I am Lord. When I open your graves and bring you up from them, I will put my spirit in you and you will live in me, and I will settle you in your own land. Then you will know, here we go again, that I am Lord, and I, the Lord, have spoken, and I have done it, declares the Lord.
Ezekiel received this vision from God so he could share it with his people to give them hope.
Yeah.
He wants them to know that they are not forgotten, that they may feel dead and dried up like these bones, but he will return to them and breathe new life into their withered spirits. He promises to rescue them from the valley of the kingdom of Babylon and bring them back to their promised land. And do you know what? He keeps his promise. God did bring his people back to their homeland. He filled them with hope and new spirit and gave them life. That's the kind of God we serve.
Yes.
A God that can do the miraculous and bring life to our dead bodies.
We want you to know something this morning as well. If you are watching us, and the thing about this show, the thing about Beyond Limits is we're watched in over 10 countries. So like Friday's video, we left here, we had 400 or 500 views, which is about normal for the live part over the span. But we come in this morning, we got 5,000 views on that same video because, I mean, it takes a while for it to go around the globe and then people to check it and everything. So no matter who you are or where you're watching this, we want you to know this. Hear the word of the Lord. Hear the word of the Lord. I don't think they got it. Hear, friends, the word of the Lord. If you feel dead, if you feel dried up in your spirit, God will. That's not a suggestion. That's right.
Right.
God will breathe new life in you.
If you feel like you can't go on anymore
That's good.
because of pain and hurt, sadness, whatever you got going through your life, God will reconnect your muscles, your tendons, and nerves to allow you to function.
If you feel broken and lifeless, God will put you together and allow you to stand. Our God can do anything.
There is nothing he cannot bring back to life. That's important.
Yes.
Right? There is nothing, not one thing on this earth that he cannot bring back to life. Today, feel the breath of God, fill up your spirit, and receive the strength you need to keep going.
Allow your spirit to rattle like these bones and receive life. God made a promise to the Israelites to bring them back home. Just like with all of his promises, he kept it and brought them back home.
God makes promises to you, and one of them is to never leave you nor forsake you. Listen, whatever valley that you are in right now, God is right there. He will breathe life into you, and he will bring you up out of that valley. He will give you a new life in your own promised land.
And that, our friends and Beyond Limits family, is a promise worth waiting for.
Awesome devotion.
Good job, Brandon.
That was good.
You did amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I knew why you were so excited to get to it.
Yeah.
Because I obviously knew what the devotion was.
Yeah.
But it's good. I'm glad people got to hear that this morning.
The thing is, guys,
If you have someone below, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
you
If
did cut me off and it
I
hurt
did.
deep.
No, it's okay.
I'm joking.
But we got to tell them if they
If you
know
have people.
Right, if you have people in your life, you know someone who needs to hear this message, comment below, tag them, send it into the DMs.
Yeah.
Let them hear this message today because it is very important, especially with the holidays and everything coming up. We know people are going to start feeling down on themselves, going to start losing hope, going to start falling from the light.
Yeah.
And they need to see this. They need to hear this before it gets too bad for them.
Yeah. Then that's true. It's Good morning,
Good morning.
A-Train Stevenson. We're back on. I'm sorry, I should have told you I was switching that. Probably freaked you out a little bit when the screen disappeared. Listen, no matter what you're going through right now, don't act as if God is not there with you. If you are a Christ follower, then you have a promise. You have a promise from your Creator. You have a promise from God that says, like Mark said a few seconds ago, and from the Bible, he goes, God says, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And that is a promise that you have. And I can tell you, social media will put you into a place where you start to compare what you have with other people. But know this, that awesome picture that they want you to see is not their life. It's not. It is the best part of their life, and it's not the 99.9% of the rest of their life, because who puts all the bad stuff on social media? Because, we have this innate ability to want, or need to want other people to say, hey, this guy's doing something good. This girl's doing something good. They are, quote unquote, what we see as successful. And when we see that, we start to feel down. And if you are on social media constantly just checking, it will put you, I promise you, it will put you into a place where you're done. You're done. You are absolutely done, because you can't compare with the best of what everybody else has put out there. And that's not true. That's not who God says you are or called to be.
And I think here, as of recently, I think it's gotten a little bit worse for people as far as with social media.
Yes.
Just because, with the COVID shutdown and everything like that, right? People haven't been able to go out and experience life and go out and do public things like they've been used to, and enjoy sporting events and going out and being with, mass people and enjoying actual life in real life and not just life through social media, right? And I think this message is very important because, again, because of all this COVID stuff, people just can't go out and do what they've been doing, especially all summer long. That's the most time people go out and do things, right? They have summer vacations and trips planned, and they hang out with family, they go to the beach, the pool, and they just travel and go to the hiking trails or whatever. I mean, they just go out and do things, and you can't do that. It's starting to get better, but they just haven't been able to do that. So I think social media has just become their only source of entertainment.
Their only outlet.
Right.
Yeah. So, that's a good point. That's a really good point, because everything was taken away. You had every theater. If movie night was your thing with your family and you went to a theater and that was your outlet, you're out.
Right.
You get to go watch, and we love watching movies.
Oh yeah.
But that was your only outlet. Maybe it was sporting events, high school football or college or whatever, football, NFL.
Right.
Then maybe that was it. Well, that got cut off. Basketball got cut off. Gatherings got cut off. Everything, every outlet that you did have to get rid of all this energy and connect one-on-one with the real people, and not social media where people are presenting this best part of their life, but real people and have real conversations, was shut off completely.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. I mean, so it's like even the small date nights with your significant other or with your small family gatherings, right? You would go out once a week, maybe to the local restaurant, to the local business or whatever, and have dinner with your friends or family, at least once a week, just to get out and social interact with people.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked forward, the wife and I, March 17th is our anniversary, and that's the day in North Carolina that everything got shut down.
Yeah.
Which rightfully so. It's a big St. Patrick's Day holiday, and they didn't want to start spreading things sooner than later. But anyway, that was going to be our last kind of, before the baby was born, go out, have our dinner, us two, anniversary, because that following Monday, our baby was coming.
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh, let's go out, and then, of course, boom, it all got shut down. So, of course, for that week, we didn't go out anywhere because we were just waiting for that one day, right? And then all got shut down, and now it's just been, we haven't been out to do anything. We try to do a date night or, at the house, but it's not the same.
Yeah. And
So-
I mean, people got creative. We got creative. We would go out, we'd order food, go outside, we'd eat it at the river or something. We do. Good morning, Jill Mosley.
Good morning,
For those
Jill.
who don't know, Jill Mosley is deaf. We love her to death. Two different things.
Yep.
But she only reads lips. So she watches the show. This is so cool. Jill watches the show, reads our lips, and can know what we're saying. For the most part, knows what we're saying. So, good morning, Jill Mosley. We love you. We love you.
Yes, we love you. I always wanted to know, is there a sign for y'all? Because that's just a very southern word, I've always wanted to know that.
Like when I look over to the left and I just get big eyes, that means we don't have an
I have no
answer
idea.
at this time.
But it's you looking at big eyes to Macy, and she's like, oh, I need to start looking this up.
But I have Google.
I got Google.
And so I can say, have you ever, in all seriousness, and this is a serious topic. Have you ever experienced one of those moments that it may have lasted for maybe a day, a week, a month? And I know some of our family has. Beyond Limits family has. That is, you would classify as at least entry level. Like if it kept going, would progress into depression.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
a down. Okay.
Yeah, I think you said it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure people have.
Yeah.
And so comment below. Let us know if you're comfortable sharing your
And
story.
how you got out of it.
right. Definitely.
What? Yeah. Listen, God is a wonderful source. He's a wonderful physician and healer, and go through Him. I remember that. So a lot of veterans deal with, and we've talked about it before, deal with PTSD and stuff like that. You've experienced like fringe things that are at a 10, so now nothing else kind of equates. Like, and so you get into this, I would call it a numb state, because it's not even really a feeling, if that makes sense.
Right. I think it's a lack of any type of feeling, right?
Yeah, and it was it was interesting, and I've gone through it, and it's random. It'll show up at just weird times. A lot of times, if you don't get sleep, you have to listen. Your body, and as the Bible says, your body is a temple. If you don't take care of your body, then that does not help out any state that you're in. If you're not getting the appropriate amount of sleep, specifically sleep, if you don't get sleep and you wake up, that can jumpstart that cycle. If you're not eating right, if you're not working out, or at least walking, doing some sort of physical activity to get the endorphins running, then you're going to slowly sink down. And COVID has put us into a place where you can easily fall into this anxiety, this depression. And I mean, the best I would describe it is it's a numbness, a numb feeling. You're just at a zero, and that's it. I'm gonna tell you that we are here for you. God is here for you. You have so many more friends than you even know. This Beyond Limits family is here for you, all of us. So
That's it. Let us know. Slide in those DMs.
yeah,
And let us know what you got going on, and we'll definitely got people that in our Beyond Limits family to help you out with anything you got going on.
oh, you type that. Keep Hope Alive.
Yes, I did.
That's the name of the church. Our church in Japan.
Oh, it
Hope
is.
Alive.
That's where I got kind of, I used it 2 and 2.
Yeah.
It was in my mind. It's like, I should hashtag that. Keep Hope Alive.
Yeah.
Because, that's what we need to do.
So, let us know, guys.
Yeah.
Let us know if you're going through this kind of stuff. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you're new to all this, we're a big family. We are a big family. But Christians, it is time. It is time that we, as Christians, wake up and stop being, I'm not going to say the word ashamed, but stop being secondary to everything else that is going on. Because I don't know if you have noticed it, but Christians in general, are under attack. When you can, in California, go out and you can rightfully, I agree, rightfully First Amendment is all yours, protest, absolutely, but you can't go into a church and sing a song. There's a problem. There's a problem with that. There's a problem with somebody dictating that you can gather in mass here, but not gather in mass over here. That is a problem. If you can't look at the news.
Oh, here we go. We're going down a rabbit hole.
If you can't look at the news and see the issue at hand and see that, hey, you know what, this doesn't match up. How can they gather here, but this is still off limits?
Right.
And you can't gather here. And then you say, okay, well, let's see who's in charge of both. Well, the church, this represents God. This is promote godly things, godly values. This is not. Okay, well, you can do this and can't do this, and you start to see people are pulling strings.
Well, isn't there like something in the First Amendment that talks about separation of church and state?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, right?
It's almost like founding fathers had it right.
It's almost like they knew
that this was going to happen.
They knew what government does, right? Anyway.
Yeah, listen, so it is an orchestrated, don't mistake what I'm saying. It is an orchestrated attack on the church that is taking place. It is. Now, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to sit idly by, or are we going to stand up like Ezekiel and take these dry bones, pray to God for that the church get revival, which it needs? I mean, we need bold. We don't need people in the church. We have more than enough people. Let's put it this way. We have more than enough people in the church that are pew fillers. We need people that will stand up out of the pews, go outside of the church, and talk about Jesus Christ. That is no longer inside of the comfort zone of the church, but outside of the church, because we're not getting enough of this. We're not getting enough bold Christians to go outside of the church. They are Christians, and the church is a place to go and to get revitalized and to get pumped up for God. And when you're down and when you've had a rough week, it is the place to go restore that health, absolutely, and to corporately worship together. But the point in Christianity is not to stay inside the church. The point in Christianity is to spread outside the church. In 33, this is our new clothing line, by the way. I probably shouldn't mention it here until we copyright it. But anyways.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Kind of started now. It's going to be called 33 AD. And we're excited about it. But look, man, Christianity, when persecuted, spreads. Christianity, when left alone, fizzles. And there's a reason. When Emperor Nero, Nero, came along, and there was this great fire in Rome, early 100s AD. He blamed the Christians. He did not want the fault of that on him. He blamed the Christians. He went around and he would line the Roman roads with crosses of Christians, and he was just executing them. That was the time where the church saw the most growth in its entire history. Then. And then you don't see it again until you get to England and Rome with Tyndale and them presenting the Bible, and they're like, no, everybody should have the Bible and be able to freely read and talk to God and learn about God. We don't need somebody else to do that for us. Right. And then you see it grow exponentially again. So listen, guys, we're under attack, but it comes down to stop waiting for somebody else. Stop waiting for somebody else to spread Christianity. Go outside the walls, type today on your social media, do something for God today where you're spreading it. And if it is you, if you need help with that, pray to God. We know a God who knows everything about us, which is terrifying.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
Terrifying.
You lost your train of thought.
No, and comforting at the same time.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, if you ever think about just, like, my mind goes to a place when you think about, like, the holiness of God, when you think about just God and his whole being, it should be humbling. If you can just lackadaisical, just like, talk about judgment and talk about seeing God one day and it not fully impact you, then you hadn't really thought about it. And I'm gonna tell you, there's gonna be one day where we get to meet the God of the universe, and it's gonna be humbling. And if you have given your life there's gonna be, listen, we all fail, obviously. The Apostle Paul said, listen, I'm the chiefest of sinners. I mean, and that's Paul. He wrote 70% of the New Testament. So we're all gonna fail. We've all failed. We're all gonna continue to fail. That's the whole point of the cross. We've talked about that. But we're gonna get to heaven one day, and we get to look back at the stuff that we've done.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Good, bad, otherwise, and we're gonna see those you're gonna see these low points in your life where you're like, man, where was God? And I talked about this yesterday in church, and what you're wondering right now is, man, my life society seems kind of messed up right now, you know?
Right.
And you're gonna look back and you'll be like, wait, I didn't have any clue that I was being used by God right here, but because of something that happened on September
14th.
On September 14th, 2020, I did something for God that day, and September 14th, 2021, like 100 people are now saved because of one small, tiny action that I did in, 2020, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a beautiful picture.
Yeah, and I'm a believer that, God puts people in your lives at certain points.
Yes.
And, out of the blue, someone might just give you a call that you haven't heard from in a while, or, share a video that,
You weren't talking about me.
No, well, I could be talking about you.
I thought you were going, anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
Share a video, talk. Yeah.
Right. So, yes, now you made me lose my
Look
train
at
of
that.
thought.
Like a beautiful smile because you don't eat the sour candies.
But yeah, so, and so you could be that person,
Yeah.
You never know if you're going to be that person, but,
That's
but
true.
if you're going through life and you're always glorifying him and you're trying to spread his message and do good things, he'll put you where you need to be. He'll put the person that you need to talk to in front of you at some point.
Yeah.
And you just never know when he obviously works through you and everything like that. So, yeah, definitely keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive. Hope Alive
Yes.
Church in Japan. Listen, if you're going through something today, you know what? If it has been a while since you have truly talked to God, talk to God. Talk to God. Listen, he is there for you. He is not against you. A lot of people think he is there just to smite you. That's not
as a
the
kid, I'm
case.
sure you did as well as I did. As a kid, you learned to, before you go to bed, say your prayers.
Yes.
Either some people kneel next to the bed or whatever, but that's not the only place you can talk to God, right?
In
I
the
learned
car?
this later in my life, right? But you just kind of learn as a kid, hey, this is when you say your prayers, when you talk to God
Yep.
before you go to bed, et cetera, et cetera. And for the longest time as a kid, you're like, that's the only time you can talk to God.
Yeah.
And then you learn, well, no. I can talk to God whenever I want to.
Good.
He's listening whenever.
Mm.
On the ride to work, on the ride home, in the shower, wherever the moment strikes you that, you know what, I need to talk to God real quick. Talk to him.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at, he's there. He's listening. He's listening to you. He knows what you're doing.
Love that.
Right? You're not going to do it in secret because he's going to see anyway.
You see what just
Right?
happened?
What's happened?
You caught a little bit of fire.
Yeah.
See, Mark, something just happened. Mark, we're talking to each other, and then he goes, and he start proclaiming. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it happens.
The Bible says, "Pray without ceasing." Now, what
Right.
What does that mean? That means be in constant communication with your Father, who knows you intricately. Who made you? I mean, he knows everything you've ever done, everything you're going to do, and loves you completely. The Bible says, "Pray without ceasing." When we start running into issues of depression and anxiety, something has severed that. Something has disconnected that because, listen, I can guarantee with 100% certainty, if you're not living for God right now, and you're like, man, I feel so distant, it is because at some point along the way, you have stopped talking to him and you have stopped reading his word. Those two things are absolute. When a teenager comes to me for hey, I've got this going on, and a lot of times they'll stop by, even as college kids, they'll stop by and they'll be like, listen, I don't feel like this is going wrong for me. And I don't know why, and I'm like, okay, awesome, let's work through this, and we start. And my very first question is, when's the last time that you opened your Bible? And that's the very first question, and 100% of the time, it's been a while. 100% of the time, we are expecting to maintain a good, positive, motivating boldness, fire, but we've stopped reading His Word. We've severed the connection, but we want to keep the energy flowing, and that's just not going to happen.
Right.
We need to be, and you need to be purposeful. It's going to be hard some days when you're busy to devote that time, but you need to just devote that time to just learning more about God and to growing closer.
It's not a book that you just read once, right?
Right. It's not the Chronicles of Narnia. It's a living book
Right.
that applies and changes, and no matter how many times
Right.
you read it,
right, depending on the
Get it out!
the point in your life that you're in, the same passage, the same stuff will mean different things to you. Right?
if we weren't on stools, I was going to shove you across the room. You look crazy in your eyes right now.
Oh, my.
That's wonderful.
It's that spark. I love it.
Yeah.
But great Monday morning.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed the devotion. I hope you enjoyed
We
our
love
podcast
you guys.
this morning. Spread hope this week. Spread His word.
Yep.
Go out there. Have a good week.
Yeah, Friday's coming.
Friday's coming. I love it. Let's do it. Stevenson says, don't question God's reasoning. God has a plan for you. All you need is faith of a mustard seed, and God can do wonders.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I
That's
like
good.
it.
Listen,
That's good.
the world needs hope right now. The world needs a Christian. They don't need weak Christians that go out giving one-liners that have no depth to them because they're nothing more than one-liners that will do nothing. They sound good, but they're just sound bites. That's it. Like he said, Anthony Stevenson said, the world needs bold Christians to wake up and be Christians.
Right.
And I was thinking of a bigger word there. There's not.
No.
You're called to be a Christian.
That is the word.
That's the word.
That is the
and you're
word.
like, well, Paul, why don't you give us some magical word? Because we're called to be Christ followers. That's it. Christ followers once meant that you were bold and willing to die for the gospel. Now it is, I'm willing to go to a room and I love the music and, I love the movement. No, Christ followers mean you love Christ and you're willing to do anything for him, whatever that is.
That's it.
In the Old Testament it says, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Right.
When's the last time we said that over our house? When's the last time we proclaimed that over our families? As for us and our families, no matter what the government says, believe it or not, we have a God that's over the government. We're going to serve the Lord. No matter what social media, no matter what the liberal media tells us to do, we're going to serve the Lord. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't like that I like God. 0% of me is affected by your negativity towards my God worship. 0. I'm going to serve God. I'm going to love God. And when I slip up, you know what? That is okay because I've got a forgiving God. But you better believe I'm going to be serving God.
That's it.
That's the way it is. And if every Christian felt that way, you would see a movement of Christ across this nation. It's time for Christians to take their dry bones and wake up.
Right.
Sorry.
That's
Again.
it. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
great Monday morning, guys. Go out, follow Christ, do what you got to. It's great.
Yeah. We
All
love
right,
you guys.
We gotta go.
Yep.
Yep. This is Mark.
I feel like we should hug after this
No.
episode.
Yeah,
you got the
will.
crazy eyes.
All
All right.
I'm
With-
Mark.
I am Paul. We love you. We'll see you Friday. This is Beyond Limits. Have a great week. We're out.